I used to see some of my track teammates coming back, not stable, they staying in apartments. And then I see my football teammates, they coming back with necklace, chain, just balling.
I happened to meet two guys that actually had won fantasy football league, and I think their check that they received was about $300,000.
I had Ron Runners on my team, so I took myself. I was like, "Why you take yourself out? We can go for 300 yards." I'm like, "Man, I'm tired, man."
Give me the keys to the kingdom, cause I came, I saw, I conquered it all. Conquer.
So welcome back to the home stretch, presented by Bet365. I'm your host, Priest Holmes, and I got my esteemed co-host, Mark Seaman.
What's going on, Priest? Good to see you.
How are you?
Always good to see you. I'm great, man. I'm sitting next to you. Your smile, it's perfect. Automatically puts me in a good mood, man.
Well, I
can
told
do
you
this all day.
Well, the trick to this is just baking soda. You just get your toothbrush, you get some baking soda.
That's
just
it.
Brush it out real quick.
Like
for 2
water,
minutes.
nothing? Just throw the powder right on
Just
there?
2 minutes of powder. That's it.
Okay. All right, 2 minutes powder. All right, well, let's not talk about our teeth for too long because we have a very special guest joining us today. On today's episode, we've got one of the most electric players to ever put on a Chiefs uniform. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, and look, he's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher and a man with one of the best yards per carry averages in the history of the league. So let's welcome him in right now. The man himself, Jamaal Charles. How you doing, Jamaal?
Good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Thank you for the time, and looking forward to swapping some stories. You two, I read on the internet somewhere you guys might know each other. I don't know. Is that true?
Well, there's a small gap in time in terms of when we played. You know, I was before Jamaal, but there was one guy in particular that reminded me so much of Jamaal and his running style. We had a running back by the name on the time, Sean Mitchell, and he was a junior transfer from Blinn. And so when I think about your running style, Jamaal, it reminded me of Sean. But and I would say Sean was one of the fastest backs that we had, you know, when we were playing for the University of Texas. But in terms of your speed, I know you were a track runner as well, explosive speed. Tell me a little bit about how all that got started in terms of being that running back / track guy. How did you make that transition to do both?
Well, track was my first love, and I always was growing up loving track. All my cousins do it. They make it a state almost every year. It was a big deal in my community growing up, and I wasn't the fastest kid. You know what I'm saying? I was really one of the slowest kids on our track team, and each and every year, you know what I'm saying, it's called the Junior Olympics, Track USA. That's what it was called back then, my days, and all my friends to go to like leave the city, and like basically that was my vacation. You know what I'm saying? Mom didn't have fortunate to have nice jobs and stuff like that, so I never able had a chance to go on them trips to like to the World Junior Olympics where they go run the track when you qualifying for it. So they used to go to California, Oregon, Nebraska, Florida, and I never got a chance to go because I wasn't fast. So I'm like, man, so I just got tired of losing, and I just started working hard and hard. And this probably was like 8th grade, 7 to 7, 6th grade. Like I wasn't older, I was young still. And then one year I was able to make it to the Junior Olympics, and it like changed my life after that.
Wow, Junior Olympics, man. I mean, but the perseverance there, though, Jamaal, you didn't want to give up, right? Like, so what did you have to do to change up your situation in order to reach that goal? Like, what was it? Just extra work? Was it just a mental like hurdle? What was it for you?
Yeah, so I don't know. I ran the hurdles back then, and like it was like, man, I come out the blocks, and then I'm coming out the blocks. I'm like, yeah, I got first, and I hit 2 hurdles, and I fell down on the ground, and I'm like, dang, I missed a chance to go to the Junior Olympics that year. So it was heartbreaking, you know what I'm saying? As a little kid, it probably was. I was crying. I hate losing. So the next year came around. What happened was I wrote on a piece of paper you know what I'm saying, what my goals was. And I stuck it underneath my pillow before I went to sleep. And the next year I ended up accomplishing my goals and accomplishing to go into the Junior Olympics. So it was like making us write stuff down. So when I that was something that stuck with through all my life, through even through the NFL and in college and high school, write stuff down on a piece of paper and see if I could accomplish those goals.
Now, if Jamaal said he wasn't the fastest, I'm wondering who was fast and what is considered fast to you, Jamal, because you have some explosive speed. You've shown that year in and year out, not only at the University of Texas, but also with the Kansas City Chiefs. If you don't look at yourself as the fastest, then what is fast to you?
Man, somebody that's fast that can beat me. But like I saying, like I had to work for my speed, you know what I'm saying? It like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people are are born with it, but some people, to get to the top level, you have to work hard. One year I ran cross country. I ran cross country because in football I had a season injury on my finger. I had to have surgery, so my track coach in my sophomore year had me run cross country that year. And the next year I came out, I was faster than everybody just by running cross country. And then one year in the summertime, my auntie, she was I stayed with her. She was my basically my second mom, and she wouldn't allow me to play 7-on-7 in the summertime. She came and grabbed me off the football field and get to the and she was a track coach, so she grabbed me off the football field and put me on the track. And that next year, that summer, I made it to the Junior Olympics in Canada, where I got a gold and a bronze medal. I got a bronze in the 400-meter hurdles. In the relay, we got a gold. So I was a ran in Canada on the U.S. team as a 17 under team. So that was a pretty cool experience for me.
Yeah. So, Mark, that reminds me of he talked about he had to train in order to get to that faster time.
Right.
Jamal, I had the same experience. I'm telling you. So, if I was to roll out of the bed, I'd probably run a 4.5. I wouldn't even be close to a 4.4. But I knew that if I could
Mhm.
train specifically for that, it took me to have an ACL tear. It took me to my senior year, right before my pro day,
Yeah,
before I ran a 4.3. So,
yeah.
it was one of those things that I knew I had to put the work in before I could get the reward. So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, to
Hmm.
be born with something where you
Yeah,
just roll out of bed and you're running a 4.4, that's crazy. I mean, I hope I can run a 10.4
yeah.
in my day. But that's incredible. Now, I want to shift a little bit here to Texas, okay?
Mhm.
Why did you choose Texas? Why did you want to be a Longhorn? And what was that move for you like? Because look, you're at the Junior Olympics, but you're playing football. You kind of have dual paths here. Was it just that Texas gave you that opportunity to keep doing both?
Nah, the experience of Coach Brown know how to recruit kids, you know what I'm saying, having a mouthpiece, know how to talk, you know what I'm saying, changed my focus from going to other schools. My other choice was I wanted to go to Florida where they had a great program of that track too. So track and football. And I remember Coach Brown going to meet with Coach Brown and saying that if you go to Florida, you won't you can your mom and or your family won't be able to come see you play every game. You know what I'm saying? You come to Austin, you're only 4 hours away. And they can hug you, kiss you, and everything. Like especially, what I'm saying, well, if you have a bad game, you fumble the ball, and ain't nobody to hug you after the game.
Wow, tugging at the heartstrings,
I know
man.
that's
That's
right.
how it's the family. That's right. Good move by coach. Very smart. So, talk about your experience there at Texas, and when you were there, was it a matter of just what was going to work out better for you, football or track, or did you eventually just start gravitating towards football and you knew that that was going to be your path? Like, when did that happen?
No, well, Coach Brown let me continue to run track. You know what I'm saying? I love track. Track is my first love. It basically gave me a chance to open my eyes. I can do something in life. I can fly. I made me go to Canada when I was young as a kid. So it opened me, I can go places. So I just wanted to stick with track. Any school that I pick, I wanted to do both. I wanted to do track and football. And what happened was just seeing my freshman year, I was able to go win the Big 12 in 100, and as a freshman, being a four-time All American in track, indoors and outdoors, my freshman year, and then that was going to my sophomore year, so I had to gain weight. So the next year it was like my sophomore year, about to running track. Coach Brown. Had said like you're gonna be the man next year. You need to gain weight. You need to gain some more weight. And I was playing like at 195. He said I need you around 208. I was like okay, so I'm out there running track. I went from like winning first to going to like fifth place because I didn't gain 10 more pounds. I'm like, God, ain't no way ain't no way. So, and I made that shift also. It was like that track shift back then wasn't making a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, either. So it was like I used to see some of my track teammates, you know what I'm saying, coming back and like not just coming back not stable. They stayed in apartments. They wasn't like stable, you know, they deals wasn't big. And then I see my football teammates, they coming back with necklace, chain, just balling. And I'm like, man, something ain't looking real here, you know what I'm saying? So I got so they end up making my focus to football where it's like, man, yeah, I gotta go make the smart financial decision for my family, and the financial was basically football was the way.
Yeah, so Jamal, let me ask you this. I heard you talk about necklaces. I heard you talking about different styles, but I've noticed you in a number of community events and going back to Kansas City and seeing you showing up. You usually have a nice little setup. The way you dress, you always are coordinating. Tell me a little bit about when you got drafted. I'm coming from a history of not being drafted, but tell me one of your memories that you can take back from that. And then what did you wear on draft day? Because I know you still got that style that I've always seen whenever I see you in Kansas City.
Uh, well, I was a third rounder, so my style, my process was I thought I was gonna get drafted first round, and I would just like had like 60 people in a big old house, you know what I'm saying, just waiting it out for me gonna get a game day. I'm dressed up, stylish. I gotta come correct. I think that all become came down because I used to wear hand me down and layways like, and then when I had got money, I can buy stuff that I like. And then what's the so that's where my style came from. It's like I was getting hand me down because I was a baby boy. My brother was giving their clothes. My aunt, I stayed with my auntie. She didn't shop for me. I didn't have the Jordans and all that type of stuff growing up. You know what I'm saying? So when I got older, I guess that was kind of like the stuff I wanted to be more, just to be more clean and more like swaggy, like my style, and that's what it came from. But I had like I think I probably had 100 people at my draft day, growing up, in my draft day, going to the draft, and I didn't get drafted at all. And you know what I'm saying? It was a sad day. It was the first second round, and I didn't get drafted at all. So that was a bad experience. I wish I can do it all over again and just have like 10 people. Because the next day, I only had like 6 people at the house when I got drafted.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I know that had to be a lot of pressure on that first day when you're having everybody locked in and waiting to see where you picked. But I can tell you what, I know Jamal one thing: when he shows up, he shows out. He comes correct. So that style that you started way back then when you got drafted, I know you've continued that. So that's kind of been most of the things that you could say. I know you come clean.
Dress to the 9,000s.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
9,000s. All right. Let's keep this story time going.
Mm.
So you do get drafted. You finally make it third round. And did you have a little extra chip on your shoulder because of that? What you just described, hanging out there day one, but it wasn't until day two you got there. Like, did you feel like, man, I've got some extra now I got to prove?
Yeah, I think the reason why I left Texas was because I had got my draft grade back that said I was gonna be drafted in the first 2 rounds, and then, so I wouldn't know if I was drafted in the third or fourth round. I would have kind of stayed at school and tried to improve my draft stock, and it was just heartbreaking. Well, with the guys that did get drafted in front of me, I just knew they wasn't better than me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they all did had great season. You know what I'm saying? Darren McFadden had a great college career. Um, One of Kevin Smith, it was like a lot of that year we was running for a lot of yards. For 2000, I think Kevin Smith did, but I think I got like 9 running backs got drafted in front of me, and I felt like I had to like prove myself to that these guys wasn't better than me, and I had more games I didn't play in, just from the and more film than most of the guys that got drafted in me. But I guess back then they didn't believe in like my style of running, or my size, or my frame. They probably so that's probably what it cost, but it cost them, not me.
Well, I can tell you what, if you might not have felt like you had that particular style of your frame. But one thing is sure is that you own a couple of those records at the Kansas City Chiefs. Single rushing record.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's one of them. And then single game rushing record as well. The 259 yards versus Denver in 2009. Take us back a little bit and tell me what you felt, what was going on before that game, not knowing that you was going to get 259 yards.
That game, I know, like, man, like I wanted to run for 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? That was my second season, and Chris Johnson was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I had like probably like 800 yards to get 1,000 yards, and I only played in like 9 games. So I wanted to be like the first person to run for 1,000 yards in less than like a 15 game season, and I wanted to see if I could do it in the 10 games. and uh it was just like, man, I have a chance. And what the funny part, Brian Waters, I had Brian Waters on my team, so I took myself out. I was like, why you take yourself out? We can go for 300 yards. I'm like, man, I'm tired, man. Like, and I kind of like looking back, like, dang, man, I took myself out the game, man, and I wasn't thinking like that, so I thought I might have more chances. Some things you don't have you can't do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had more time in my time frame in my career, but it's not all like that. I know when the moment comes, when those type of moments, you got to seize those moments and keep on going if you can.
Yeah, so Jamaal just said an interesting name, Brian Waters.
Yeah.
This was our left guard.
I was going to say, let's talk
He
about
was my
Brian
left
Waters.
guard.
Okay.
So there was 2 ways that you approached the game. And Jamaal, I'm going to ask you this question too, but I'm going to kind of give you my little perspective on it. There was 2 ways that I approached the line of scrimmage. If I was running to my left mark,
Okay.
I had Brian Waters there. I also had Big Willie Roaf. If I was running to my right side, I had Will Shields. Now, the 2 sides are different, right? And Jamaal, I'm going to ask you what you thought. So on the right side, when I was running with Will Shields, he's more of a technician.
Okay.
I knew I just need to open step, crossover, downhill, follow his hip. If it's shaded to the right, go inside. If it's shaded to the left, go outside. Now, I'm running to the left side, Jamaal, behind Brian Waters.
Yeah.
Brian Waters is a beast. He's the type of guy that does not care. He just wants to annihilate the guy in front of him. So
just sheer power. Like
you
that,
need to run with just power to
Yeah.
his side, because if you're trying to go off a technique, he's going to throw a guy in front of you. He's going to smash a guy right down in front of
Sure.
and block the hole. So Jamaal, tell me, what was it like running behind Brian Waters? Because for me, it was just be aggressive, run, hit the hole, and play smash mouth football on the left side.
Man, see, I was young, so Brian Waters, he was big, and you know what I'm saying, everybody was scared of him. So it gave me confidence. Like, man, I got Big Bo on my team. I know he gonna kill everybody in front of him.
That's right.
He gave me confidence. He was a bully on the line. So it's like, man, he gave all the guys on the line confidence just because you like, that's Brian Waters right there. You know what I'm saying? The guy that took Ray Lewis out. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to run behind him, like, yeah, you got to be. I know when I run on Brian Waters' side, you have to be quick, because he gonna get to the man, like you say, and he gonna pull him. You know the move where he grab him and pull him behind and slap the hand. And so on his side, I know once he touch his man, I gotta be like gotta be on his back, so I know he gonna get to the next level quite fast.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And like I said, Brian Waters was just a very aggressive offensive lineman. He was mean. He made it known. He would try to run that player in front of him into the dirt if he could. If a guy hit you the wrong way, you could always look at Brian Waters, get his attention, be like, look, number 56 over there,
Yeah.
he hit me the wrong way, Brian. I need you to get some get back.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know. So Jamaal, did you ever have Brian get that get back for you?
he
Because
was
a
a
guy
fixer.
took a cheap shot on you, but you made
Oh,
sure
yeah.
Jamaal, you made sure that Brian Waters,
yeah.
B-Dub, took care of him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, D-Dug take care of a lot of people, man. It's like it's like Debo on the block. You can't be talking noise, or the defensive guys shut up when they see him.
That's right.
So a lot of dinners for him. A lot of dinners for Mr. Waters. Yeah. Did he make you call Mr. Waters?
No, it was B-Dub. It was
Yeah, just
B-Dub
B-Dubs.
back then. So,
Nice.
yeah, very aggressive lineman.
Well, look, if
Yeah.
he's going to throw somebody on the ground in front of your running path, as a hurdler, Jamaal, you can just jump right over that, right? There's no problem. No problem for you.
Yeah, that's an easy
Oh, yeah.
thing for him.
Yeah. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers, Priest, $5. You just bet that and you can get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only. 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly, and you must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, and Kentucky, as well as Louisiana and select parishes. Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only. All right. I want to talk about touchdowns here for a second, if that's cool, Jamaal, because as a running back who strives to be in the NFL, it's a dream to not only get on the field, but to score that first touchdown. And you were like, you know what, man, I'm just going to have 5 in a game. Let me just do 5 in a game. What was that experience like, and why did it play out that way?
It was just the game plan, you know what I'm saying? With Coach Andy Reid being the coach, his playing call and playing style. Um, it wasn't planned to be like a, you know what I'm saying, a touchdown, 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 you know what I'm saying? It was just able to, it would just some days be your day, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. And then when your time come to be your day, you just gotta seize the moment. And as another moment that I didn't seize again because I took myself out in the third quarter. I just keep taking myself out. I could have been more touchdowns. I
7
had a
touchdowns.
whole
Here we
fourth
go.
quarter. Then now, now win the game and scored the 7 touchdown, 34-yard touchdown. I was like, all right, but I like to share, so I gave him some love. But now it was just one of them days where when I first touched the ball. I never knew it was going to be a touchdown. And when I first touched the ball, I did everything Coach told me to do on the screenplay. Went in out. Now all of a sudden I saw the sideline wide open, and then I was able to get to the sideline and score. The next play was third and like 20. I'm just like, man, I do not want to catch this ball because I know they're gonna be all on me on a third and long play. They know the back getting the ball, so I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, man. So all of a sudden, uh, I swing out and got the ball. I'm like, oh, then all of a sudden I ain't see nobody in front of me. So I was like, oh, let's go. So that's another play that I wasn't expecting to score. And then another play where I got on the red zone where I know that's one of the play you got to get in the end zone on the goal line on 1 yard play. And then the fourth touchdown I got, it was just a play that coach always we practice on every week. We just never really called a play. And another screenplay that I knew that I wasn't that I didn't know I was gonna score, and I ended up getting through the line, get behind the line, catch the ball, get up the field, north and south. And then the other play was third and one. It was like a swing, a swing up the sideline and swing up make the linebacker think you're going to the flat and swing up. So I thought I was gonna get tackled in that place by the safety, but Alex Smith just put the ball in the right place, and I was able to just make one guy miss and score. So you just those some things you don't plan, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta trust the process, trust the play call, and trust your abilities as well to make things happen.
Yeah. So Jamaal, when you think about scoring 5 touchdowns or just scoring just one, would you prefer a running play or would you prefer a screenplay or turn or even a draw or like a hesitation draw play? What probably is your best ability to score from, and what would you like to do it from, a run or a pass?
First, I'm gonna give you my ideal. My idea is to catch the ball or run the ball when nobody's around me and I don't have to be touched. That's my ideal. But
Good answer. Good
I don't
answer.
have to worry about nobody hitting me. But I say the first my favorite play I love to run was what's a what's a stretch play in NFL? Stretch play, like you get the ball, cut up this, go to the outside of the tight end arm, and you know what I'm saying, whatever the tight end move or the outside tackle, wherever the fact that they move their D line inside outside, that's why I can make a move. But also was we never ran screen plays until Coach Andy Reid got there. So all my plays where I used to score was to come from traps. Traps are another easy play where you never get hit. Or you know what I'm saying, the two guards in the center, they go up to the linebacker quick and you gotta get through the hole. And the other play was a counter play. I love counter plays because that's another one. I feel like when you have another guy in front of me, I make more happen. Like instead of just making when I have like a fullback or a lineman in front of me, I can do more because I can make one guy miss. But when it's just me on myself, I gotta make it miss on my own. But I like when I have somebody running in front of me, like a stretch play with a fullback or a power play or a counter play with a fullback, so I can get to the next level as fast.
Yeah, so I can definitely relate, and I think what Jamal is saying, and what I'm getting him hearing from him is that when you have an escort, when somebody's escorting
Right.
you up the field,
Right.
it's always the best because it allows you to get to the second level.
Yeah.
And I see Jamal taking a little, he's smiling about that. Yeah. So
Mhm.
if you have a defender or an offensive player that's actually in front of you, and he gets you to the second level, it just opens up your abilities to set that block up one, and
Right.
then you can either outrun that block or you can go against the grain off of it. So, I can definitely relate to him, and I definitely would love to see more of that. With the Chiefs.
Well, might happen this year.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say real quick because he's brought up Andy Reid a couple times, and you have as well. Let's talk about Andy Reid for a second and what kind of coach he is, and what your first impression of Andy Reid was, and how he really helped you be so successful.
Man, his ability of his just knowing the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches just out here coaching, but don't know the game, don't know the details, don't know the X's and O's. They know how to draw X and O's, but they don't know it to the very detail of how to coach a game or play calling or setting your best player to be in the best situation for you. He can make plays not for you, but the whole organization and make and win games. They don't have too many coaches like that. Everybody just think I want to coach, I want to coach, I want to call plays, I want to call plays. But it's why he's on a different tier of coaches. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have different tiers of coaches. Is why you got all pros, second team all pros, because you have different people calling plays. And what Andy Reid, I just imagine I went through four coaches before Coach Andy Reid got there.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And all them coaches that we got there, we went to the probably the playoff one time. Besides after that, after that, Coach Reed got there, and now I build the foundation with Coach Reed to set up the organization to go in the right direction, and all of a sudden they just took off, and he know how to also recruit. You know what I'm saying? Recruit, but draft people, pick the people to his system, and that's what make Andy Reid successful because he's a coach that understands and let you be you. He's not one of them coaches like a military coach. He's not strict. He's strict, but he's disciplined. But he's not like demanding you. He wants you to be you. He wants you to show your talent. He wants you to show your personality and be yourself. And that's what I think. That's what most players love. If you want, let me be myself.
Now, Jamal said that he helped lay the foundation with Andy Reid.
Mhm.
I believe, Jamal, you thrived under Andy Reid, and then how I know that is because in 2013 you led the league in touchdowns. So tell me a little bit about that particular year and how you felt about leading the league in touchdowns.
Man, that was one of the best feelings in the world. You know what I'm saying? Able to score touchdowns. Before that, I couldn't even score five touchdowns in the season, and I was like still rushing for all these yards, and still not accomplishing over seven rushing touchdowns. And some of the reason why I used to get taken out the goal line. And Coach Andy Reid, he never took me out of the goal line. That was a push. That happened all the way through college and then a couple years through NFL. So he helped me. He let me stay in the game. Uh, Man, he used to bring me into his office and, hey, man, Jamal, I got to see this play right here. What you think about this play? I never had a coach come up in there and say, man, I got this play for you right here. Set me up. You're going to go right here. He explained all the details of what I do on the play and everything. I'm just saying, man, this guy here really trusts me. He really care about me. You know what I'm saying? He really want to make me successful just because I never had that experience before. So, and then having that experience, Coach Andy Reid, he changed that my ability to show my talents to the not just to the whole NFL around the even to like people want to draft me fantasy football first player overall. So it was just when I got him, it was just a blessing because after that, like my career really took off even more.
I think that, Mark, I think a coach that takes you alongside and shows you specifically plays
Mhm.
and draws them up and sets them up, it's a different relationship.
I
and it's
was
a
just
different connection with your head coach. And so I know that it's made a big difference in my life. I can see that it made a tremendous impact in Jamal's life. And as far as scoring touchdowns, Jamal, I had a knack for sniffing out the end zone myself. My reasons was for a different reason. I know you said you
Yeah.
started off and you weren't able to score as many touchdowns as you wanted, but when I was at the University of Texas, I was in the backfield with Sean Mitchell, Ricky Williams, and myself, and so the time was limited. So when I had an
Yeah.
opportunity to score, I had to take advantage of it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I knew Ricky was coming back in. But I think
Yeah.
those leading the league in touchdowns and having the touchdown record that you have, I think that's really important. It's really great things that you've been doing with the Kansas City Chiefs as well.
He got the most touchdowns in Kansas City history.
Yeah.
that's true.
And,
That's true.
So let's go back to that. So we talk
and
about
that,
touchdowns. There
Yeah.
was a record that I also had in the Chiefs. I
yeah,
know
yeah.
records are meant to be broken.
Mhm.
It was the rushing records for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know Jamal, you have that record as
Yeah.
well. How does that feel to be able to hold that record and have something that continues to stand during this time when players are still playing? You know, running backs aren't going to have the same opportunities that we had in terms of running the ball because it's a quarterback first.
Right.
NFL
Quarterback
right now.
driven
Yep.
league. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
driven league right now. So, how did you feel about that as far as holding that rushing record for Kansas City Chiefs?
I mean, it felt good to even, what I'm saying, to accomplish that time that I spent a third rounder, what I'm saying, coming like all these running backs was picking in front of me, and what I'm saying, I wanted to continue to drive even when Coach Andy Reid came and he was able to give me the ball in different ways, and I was still able to accomplish to rush for the all time leading for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's pretty cool to still have. I was just really playing out there. I wasn't chasing records. I was just trying to basically, what I'm saying, win Super Bowls and uh just to be dominated, what I'm saying, to be one of the one of the best running backs. That was my goal, was always to play like a Hall of Fame running back. So when I got that record, it was pretty cool. And then from a former Texas running back, it was pretty cool just to be able to accomplish to go 1 and 2.
Absolutely. So, do you think that record will be broken? You think that with it being a quarterback-driven league, and specifically with Mahomes in the backfield now, throwing the ball and masterminding that, do you think your record will be broken, or is it going to be there for a while?
Like you say, records are meant to be broken, and I was able to have it. How long as I able to stay, it would be good. But I know records are meant to be broken. Maybe Pat Mahomes might break it just by just because he take off at the backfield all the time. So we'll see. But it's like a quarterback driven league. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if it's gonna continue to go this way. You maybe can find a future Hall of Fame like Derrick Henry, uh, like that type of guy, just able to rush for 2,000 yards, 2,000 yards. I think it can happen if we can find the right running back in the Kansas City Chief history. Just I mean, in the next couple years in the draft, or Isaiah Pacheco can get it.
So,
Yeah.
Priest, I know we talked about this a little bit before we started the episode today, and Jamal, I want to bring you into this because both of you, as as we're talking about compiling numbers here, right? A lot of numbers here, and if that could ever happen, a running back position again. But when you guys were both popping off, you won me a lot of fantasy football games, and so the fantasy football sort of zeitgeist was kind of really just breaking through into the mainstream when you both were playing. So how much aware of that were you? And was there a lot of talk in the locker room about like, oh man, whoever drafted you first, they're getting wrecked today, or like, I'm gonna go get my people some yards today? Like, was that ever in the headspace while you guys were playing?
Nah, I didn't know what fantasy football was until a couple years after that. I scored like really the 5 touchdown game, and people saying that you want me fantasy league. I hated fantasy football because I got hurt one year, and they hated me like they owned me, like they was an owner.
Right.
So I didn't even think about fantasy football. I wasn't paying the fantasy football around until, what I'm saying, to the year basically I blew up in the Raiders game, and everybody was thanking me because that was the last week of their playoff season, and everybody want to buy me everything. Hey, I give you money, this, that. But yeah, that's the only reason why I bring that up.
Yeah, I think for me, I think that the accolades that I received from it, it came at a very good time, very
Mm-hmm.
crucial time. Jamal, I went undrafted out of Texas to Baltimore Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
then went into Kansas City Chiefs as a free agent. So it kind of brought me back to that time of like being treated like you were drafted, but I was now going into my fifth season. And so with that being said, in that early 2000s, that's when fantasy football really took off, Mark. And so for me, it was something that kind of thrusted me into the limelight,
Mm-hmm.
and I became to be a household name in many offices and in many homes, and didn't realize how many people actually reached out and spoke to me. So I was glad that it happened,
Yeah.
and I benefited so much from it.
Did you have a similar experience like Jamal, where people were showing up with gifts and being like, "Thank you, man, you did it for me. I appreciate you so much."
Yeah,
And
so
like,
so Jamal, my craziest story, I was actually doing an autograph signing, so you're familiar with that. I was doing an autograph signing in Las Vegas, and I happened to meet two guys that actually had won fantasy football league. They won,
Okay.
and I think their check that they received was about $300,000. And I just happened to be walking through one of the hotels there in Las Vegas and ran into these guys randomly, and so they were so thankful and appreciative. I told them I'll probably have to invoice you at some point. You know what I mean? For all the points that I earned you guys, but I didn't realize that fantasy football was at that level until
Right.
I walked into that. I think I was at the MGM when that happened. So yeah,
300K
300,000. Yeah.
for playing fantasy football.
And this is
That's
early
wild.
2000s,
Dang.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if you had that experience, Jamal, where you met someone that really won a lot of money from utilizing you in fantasy football. But I had a chance to meet a couple of guys, and it was pretty awesome. What else do you take from fantasy football that you think that you kind of remember once it did take a hold of you, and you started to remember, you started to see fans coming up to you and thanking you and things like that?
Just the love and how much really people really loved fantasy football, and seeing a lot of people play fantasy football, and that's how kind of people recognize you. You know, what I'm saying we have our football helmets on, so a lot of people recognize you on fantasy because when you pick a player, they don't have a helmet on, so it's pretty cool just to be experienced, to be known, who to be known, and I benefit a lot from just fantasy football, just like autograph signing or going places or just being aware so people know who I am.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I remember some former players being frustrated with that. They compared football to other sports, and because you are wearing helmets the whole time, people don't really see your face. They don't know what you look like. And that's a good point you bring up, Jamal. Because now everyone sees your face and they know who they're drafting and can identify you, especially when you're hanging out.
So Jamal, I got a question for you. So one thing that I picked up during fantasy football, I didn't realize how many women actually participate and play fantasy football. So I began to really hear a lot more stories, not just from the guys' perspective, but also how badly that women would be wanting you to perform on that particular weekend.
No pressure.
So
no pressure.
it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It was a pressure. It was definitely pressure because I started to hear it quite a bit, especially with the amount of touchdowns that I was scoring during that time. But I'm talking about if you're scoring touchdowns and you're getting runs over 20 yards, Jamal, you definitely are going to be a fan favorite always.
Love that. Well, thanks for dipping
Oh,
into the
yeah.
fantasy stuff for a little bit, guys. I appreciate it. Because as a fan myself, who did draft both of you on teams I had in the past, I always wonder from a player's perspective, like how much of that seeps into the mindset and what's going on in the locker room, and just how aware, because people are approaching you about it. But yeah.
Well, I think, Jamal, you've been one of the most efficient running backs in history. Should today's backs that are less than chasing 350 carries, do you think that it's more carries that you should try to achieve, or you should just try to be a dominant force in the game? I didn't particularly like to have too many carries over 300 yards because for me personally, I knew at the end of the season I'm going to pay for it. So if you had the time where you had over 300 carries, was that something that you now look back and say, man, that took a lot of toll on my body after running that many times?
Oh yeah, I feel like I never wanted 300 and something carries. I was trying to just keep them less. That's why I try to get at least I could do something 190 carries. That was all. That's the kind of stacks I kind of looked at. Just keeping like my carries down. If I can get at least one long run in or two long runs with just two carries, I know that I'm affecting the game. I'm making a positivity on the football on my stacks and on the game. So I never really wanted to go to the 300. I don't think I really touched 300 carries before. But I knew like I was little, so I wasn't big than a lot of running backs. So I was after the games, I was already that was already a tone on my body. It was hard, especially when I got older. It was recovery time wasn't, you know what I'm saying, became harder for me, you know what I'm saying, and just doing the week. I couldn't train like I used to train when I was young, but the recovery, getting my knees ready, getting my the soreness out your body, the hits everywhere you've been hit. Yeah, it takes a tone.
Yeah, we talked about the contusion to the thighs. I think that's one of the major injuries that
Yeah.
go not really, it goes under the radar a
Mhm.
lot of times, where most of the guys, running backs, we probably don't
Yeah,
report
yeah.
those types of contusions, but they definitely affect the way that you run the ball. He talked about 100 and some odd carries, run around 190, 180. I think that is a really great sweet spot. But I
Okay.
like your strategy more, Jamal, because if I would have known then what I know now by what you said, I would have said, okay, how can I break a 80-yard, a 70-yard as fast as I can, because that's going to cut down on the
Sure.
workload that you're going to have. So,
Sure.
Jamal, that was an incredible strategy
That's
right
good.
there.
He knows what he's
Oh
talking
yeah,
about. He's
yeah.
been
Yeah.
successful. He knows what he's talking about. I have a running back question for you, Jamal, and for you as well, Priest, because we see more of a hybrid back these days. And when you play Jamal, Priest asked you about, would you rather catch a pass out of the backfield and run it in, or just get the ball handed to you and run it in? Well, this is more commonplace now, more so than ever before, right? You got players like Deebo Samuel, Aaron Jones, Bijan down in Atlanta. Is this where the game's going with the position? Is this the desired type of running back that we'll just be seeing more and more of in the league?
Yeah, I think so. I think Derrick Henry is the last running back of basically our time is, you know what I'm saying, he's the last running back. Everybody else are more check down, swing it out, more like Gibson for the Detroit Lions. Like they more like a hybrid, looking for explosive running backs that can hit the home run. I think that makes the game entertaining. I think that make the game exciting. I think it makes it also put points on the board when you have more explosive running backs or quick guys to throw out like a swing pass or get a couple guys in front of him so they can open the holes up and he can make a plays. And I think that's the position is more hybrid running backs, the 280s or the 260s running back, 250s running back. I think that, you know what I'm saying, that is not as more as you running like Derrick Henry, then yeah, I have you at my running back too.
Would that be
Most
your
teams would.
preference too? Would
Yeah.
that be your preference, like to keep somebody in house though that's still old school? Between the pads, just grinding it. Because if people are gonna start making schemes to defend against these hybrid running backs, don't you want to switch it up and bring someone
Well,
old
I
school?
think that Mark, I think the league has definitely changed, and I think there's so much opportunity for the hybrid back.
Mhm.
Bijan Robinson, also another back, former Longhorn as well.
Yeah,
He's
that's right.
incredible. He has the ability. I believe Bijan may have kind of similar to your plan too. He can actually get in between the tackles, but I think he's more of an explosive running back that wants to be out in space. And so anytime you can create space and get out there and you can determine how you're going to move that line of scrimmage and how you're going to get to that second level, I think that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
So for me, definitely a smaller back that can hit the hole, but also can run a screenplay, or also can get behind the line of scrimmage and take it to the distance.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how much of a passing league it really is now. Like just officially, it's a passing league, even coming out of the backfield now.
Yeah.
More so than
So
ever.
so let me tell you. So Bijan Robinson, what do you think about him? He's a back now, early in his career. What advice do you think you would give Robinson, and also him being a former Longhorn?
Bijan, just keep on, you know what I'm saying, when your opportunities come, because right now he's also sharing lows right now. And you want to show people that you can be a back by yourself. Even though we got two people playing two roles, but you want to tell the coach and the organization, hey, 'cause I'm thinking about the more money they can pay me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, if I can do more, if you give me the ball by just having one running back, and what I'm saying, you get majority of the carries or majority of the passes, I say do more. You know what I'm saying? I think you at a time where you about to be in your primes, you can do more. Don't feel satisfied by doing little. I feel like everybody know what you can do. When you was at Texas, you was doing more. So don't feel comfortable. It's at the time where you got to separate yourself to showing that how great you is.
Yeah, I'm surprised also because running back by committee, we're starting to see that. You
Right.
can see that in Detroit as
Right.
well, Atlanta, and so even in Kansas City, you kind
Mhm.
of see running back by committee. So I think it's definitely a disadvantage to some of the running backs, Jamal, because we all want to have that opportunity to just be the man. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Sure.
To get all the carries, but also it saves your body
Yeah.
a little bit.
Mhm.
And when you're splitting time, it just you got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have.
Mhm.
Jamal, has there been an opportunity where there was another back that was in the backfield that took one of your plays and they actually broke it for like 50 yards?
No, I just say probably see, I was unselfish, man. So it was a couple running backs was I say no, you know what I'm saying, he took advantage of opportunities he had when I was playing as well. When he got in the game, he broke for like 80, he got a pass play. He broke for like he was getting chances, like a lot of chances. Like I just let him go in there and because I get tired and I'm like, man, I came out on this play. Dang. Because a lot, my gameplay, everybody locking on me every week. So I'm like, I'm the focus of the offense. Everybody locking on me. So it, I'm having 20, 10, 5 people around me every time I touch the ball. So I used to get tired of that. So I was like, man, you go in the game, get this play. And one time he got in the win the game, he got to play and scored a touchdown. I'm like, God dang, man. But because I'm saying everybody always locking in on me. Everybody's all locking on me. It's like you ain't about to score 5 touchdowns again. So they got. I remember the Raiders game. We played them again. They like not again. They started grabbing my jersey. I wasn't even going out for a pass. I was just going out for a route. It's like not again.
It's like I hear a little bit of regret that he stole that play, but that's cool that you weren't selfish. And Priest, this is something you brought up previously too. If you don't work as a team and everyone's not being satisfied, it could cause some friction, right? Ultimately.
Yeah, ultimately, it's a well orchestrated event situation with all you as players. The running back committee, it's just a different group. I know the running back rooms that you were a part of. I know you were very proud about those guys, and y'all like a band of brothers back there. We were the same way, even to the time where there were certain times of elements that we would play in. I don't know about you, Jamal, but there were certain times whenever we'd go into like Chicago or a cold venue. The one thing that the running backs by committee, we would say no sleeves. So would there be a time where y'all would do stuff like that where it'd be cold as heck outside, but for some reason somebody thought that no sleeves for running backs would make us tougher? You know what I mean?
Solidarity,
Yeah.
right?
So did y'all have anything like that? Any quirks or anything that y'all would do?
uh, Being from Texas, boy, I had to do it, even though it hurted. It hurted bad. I had that turtleneck on. I had the turtleneck on, but I'm being from Texas. And overall, like you had to try to like when it was in the early 2000s in the '90s, you try to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Now these days, them kids don't be caring about what you say. Them kids don't be caring. They gonna wear their sleeve. They don't, even though they gonna run the ball. I'm like, and all the time I see a running back running the ball with sleeves on, I'm like, oh, it's about to be a bad mistake right here, about to fumble the ball or something.
Yeah, because Mark, you never want to have any type of
Right.
material between the ball and your arm. So if you have the sleeves on, you be careful because that ball could slip out pretty quickly. So I was one that made sure that I tried not to wear sleeves. There'd be times where I may have sleeves on, but I always knew that I'd definitely be really aware of the ball and my ball placement at that time.
When both of you were active, did you find yourself off field like carrying stuff around like a football, and then like you noticed a family member was coming towards you and you switch arms?
No, I
Like that?
think I seen that in a bunch of movies, Jamal. What about you?
Nah, nah, I wasn't doing that. Only thing when I had baby, but a little baby, but nah, I wasn't doing. That's football was football life, and life was life.
Yeah, so like when you got the football in your hand as a running back, you know that that's the last thing that you want to let go of.
Yeah.
So there would be a couple of the younger backs at times. Of course, if the ball ended up on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
then the running back coach would say, "Get the ball and hold the ball for the remaining of the practice." So it'd be stuff like that. But for the most part, that's probably one of the worst feelings as a running back that you can have is to actually put that ball on the ground, because that's a lost opportunity, and then the ability to get just that opportunity back may not come. So if you got a really good defense, they can make up for a loss like that. But putting the ball on the ground for a running back is something definitely that we definitely would not want to do. What about you, Jamal?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fumbling problems, so I know if I fumble the ball, I'm coming out the game. I might not see the quarter again against a couple of plays. So I had to practice on how to keep that ball tight, just be on the running style I had. I used to always have it away from my body, just the way I run, the way I move. But for sure, I definitely had to hold the ball a couple times in the meeting.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So it is a
Trying to
little
have
bit of a
dinner,
punishment.
doing everything one-handed. I'm not even left-handed.
Yeah, a little bit of a punishment, but yeah,
Gotcha.
I think we learn very quickly from it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of those feelings that you never want to have again.
Yeah.
It's very comparable to like just losing a game, to put the ball on the ground and then you look back at your teammates and you just like devastated, like I can't get that one back, and
And
especially when it comes at a crucial time in a game, that's when it
Yeah.
really hurts.
right, right. And look, if you fumble the ball and you have another player on you, and you can see the ball, but you can't move your arms to go get it, and you're just like, no. Worst ending to a movie ever, right?
Yeah, it's too far away, and it's
Yeah.
one of those things that you're just defenseless. You can't get
Mhm.
to it. But I'll tell you what, one way to make up for it is just lead the league in touchdowns,
yeah,
right?
just score 5 touchdowns in a game or something, whatever.
That's the way to make up for it.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit here. We're gonna have some fun, Jamal. We're gonna make some predictions. Okay. And Priest, you ready to do this too?
Let's do it.
We're gonna make some long season predictions here. Okay, so we'll start with this one: over under longest run of the 2025 season. Is it gonna be over or under 85.5 yards? Is someone gonna get a run longer than 85.5 yards, or do we think it'll be under that?
I think over.
You think over? You think someone's going to break like a 92, 93?
For sure. This football.
Okay.
That's right.
What
Yeah,
about you,
no,
Priest?
I'm
Do you
definitely
think-
over. I definitely think it's going to be over.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like Jamal said, it's football.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Someone is not going to be locked in and not be paying attention on the defense side of the ball. There's going to be a running back that's going to get that opportunity, and then obviously a receiver is the quickest way to get downfield. So
Right.
definitely possible.
Who do you think it's going to be? If you had to pick a running back right now.
I'm gonna go with you, Jamal. Who do you think that would be? That could possibly.
I say Gibson from Detroit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
I say Gibson over Detroit. He's a fast runner. Tyreek Hill. Williams from Detroit. Even Worthy from Kansas City. You got a couple guys out here that have speed. Yeah.
Yeah, Jamal is definitely going with speed.
Yeah,
so,
he's picking all speed and an escort as well, right? Someone in front to make that final block to break it. All right, let's shift towards the quarterback-ish scenario here, right? This is a quarterback-driven league. They seem to win the MVP every single year without question. However, with dual threat running backs, and we were just talking about this, right? The hybrids. Do you think that opens up the door for a hybrid running back to win an MVP in this league? And if so, who could do it?
I say no.
No MVP for running back.
I don't
Priest, you
think.
got
I don't
faith?
think there's going to be an MVP.
Okay.
I mean, Barkley did an incredible job this past season, but in order for that to happen again, for one individual running back to do it, I think it's going to be tough. It's just too much of a passing game right now, and the
It's gonna be
opportunities
tough.
for a running back, they don't always have that escort up the field to be
Right.
able to create those additional opportunities. But no, I don't see it happening.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, if Saquon wasn't going to get it last year, then who would get it? Right?
Exactly.
You can't have a better season than that. So, all right, here's another one. Who's going to have a better finish to the season from the quarterback position? Is it going to be Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels this year?
It's a good one. I say with the prediction of the Green Bay going to the Super Bowl, I say Jordan Love.
He's got Green Bay in the Super Bowl. He's
Jamal, timeout.
Parsons put
Did
him
you
over
just
the
say
top.
You gave a prediction for Green Bay. Is that what I just heard?
I'm talking about quarterback. They saying that's what the Vegas saying.
Okay, that's what Vegas said.
Okay, so
Let
that's-
me ask you, what are you thinking? What do you think about Green Bay? You think they have an opportunity?
Yeah, I think they have. They got a lot of playmakers on their team this year. They drafted good. They drafted well this season. They had a quarterback in the system for the last 3 years. They improved at the wide receiving position. So they also add another like not just an super average person to the defense. They added a Hall of Fame defensive defensive end to their defense. So that give them more boost. Just going, it's hard already. It's already hard to play in Green Bay. So with the history of the Green Bay, that's why I picked Jordan Love between Daniels and him.
Okay.
Oh wow,
All right.
I
Look,
didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. So that's a little bit of a surprise. So this is my next question for you both. Who will be the biggest surprise of 2025? Let's look at it from a team perspective. You know, the Washington Commanders last year, bit of a surprise, right? Who's going to be this year's Washington Commanders, Jamal?
Uh, I would say maybe Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
That's
pulling them out the hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a surprise for me. Why do you believe that? What do you think they got cooking this year that's gonna put them over the top?
Just all the way around players. Tony Pollard in the backfield. You got Calvin Ridley at wide receivers. You got new quarterback. He got a different swag. He bring a different confidence to the team. Uh, so that's why I picked them. Of just being young and hungry. That's why I picked them.
Yeah, he's going that way. I'm still going Detroit.
Yeah,
I think
Detroit's your team.
I think Detroit is going to be back in postseason again, and I think that they're going to go further.
All right, now we're gonna do some more.
I just don't believe in guff like that.
I'm liking that duo running back that they got in Detroit. Yeah, and they showed up last year, and I think they can show up again.
But how long? How I said it's gonna be hard. How far they can do that again?
Well, it's going to be
It's gonna be
definitely
hard to have
difficult.
dual running backs without a quarterback.
Yeah, it will have some challenges to it, but I think the head coach and I think the running back system, I think the inexperience that they might have had the last couple of seasons where they got that close to the show, but it just didn't. You know, the coin didn't just fall on the side that they needed it to. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But it's definitely going to be difficult for that division between Detroit, Chicago, Green Bay, Parsons. Now, you know, he's in Green Bay, so it's going to be a difficult run for that division.
Yeah.
They're going to beat up on each other, definitely.
Detroit lost their offensive coordinator too, right?
Yes.
Yep. He's stacking the deck
Yeah,
against you,
he's
Priest.
just-
You
Why?
regret
You
this
gotta
pick? I'll give you one
Yeah.
chance to switch it from Detroit.
I'm staying with.
All right.
I'm
You
saying.
might want to be the Bears.
I'm saying Detroit over Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm just saying Detroit is going to fare well than Green Bay.
All right. All right. Let's get a little more official here, okay? It's time for our picks of the week presented by Bet365 Priest. And we'll do the big the big future bet here, okay? Super Bowl, it's early in the season. We know who you picked already, Priest, but let's get it from Jamaal. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl this year, and who do you think they're going to beat in that Super Bowl?
I say Chief in Green Bay.
He's going Green Bay.
Okay, so that's the matchup. And who wins it?
Yes, that's the matchup. Chief recovered from last year. An embarrassment.
Okay, it was
Well, I agree. I think it was an embarrassment. I think the Eagles had their foot on the neck of the Chiefs for the first 3 quarters, and by the time they looked up, they just said, "No, we're not going to even let off of it." You know, I think it was an embarrassment, and I think that's rightfully so an opportunity for the Chiefs to bounce back, and you have something like that to look at and say, I don't want that to happen again. So
now, do you want to be honest and tell Jamal how they're going to win? Do you want me to tell him?
You could tell him.
Okay, he believes that the Chiefs are going to win because Taylor Swift's going to kick a 66-yard field goal in the final seconds of the Super Bowl.
So Jamal, Taylor Swift, do you think that she has any? I think she's having a great impact. Like I said, I have my younger daughter also knows more about football due to the fact that Taylor Swift has been involved in going to games. Do you think it's a distraction, or do you think it helps the Chiefs, and will it hinder them this year?
No, it's not a distraction. I feel like she's been around the organization for the last 3 years. The players buy in with it, the fans buy in with it, and it makes the NFL more awareness of just more girls just seeing her. And I know women just know about the game of football because of Taylor Swift. Now it's more women than involved in penalty call and pass interference. All and they know what the cause is instead of just watching the game. So. I think it's no distraction with Taylor around. I think that Kelce been a professional about this, and those guys just don't have the type of fame that she have, but those guys popular as well.
Well, you played early on, obviously, with Travis. Have you noticed anything different about his hairstyle? He used to rock a little taper fade. He had a taper fade early on, I think, in your days, Jamal. And now he's kind of switched it up. He's got a little bit more hair length. What do you think?
Oh yeah, he definitely he got the hippie look. He had the swaggy look. He went back to his look. He used to hang, but yeah, I used to hang with around Trav, man. Trav was a cool kid. Really, really loved, man. He loves. He's very loved by a lot of people. And very, what I want to say, very cool, collected. He's definitely with the culture.
Yeah, I think Travis definitely transcends barriers, and I think in terms of cultural pop music,
He used to have a
R&B,
TV show too, as well, a reality show. So he's been around the camera.
Yeah, he really has. So I think he's comfortable around the camera, like Mark said, and I think also by the relationship that he has, I don't think it'll be a distraction either. I think that they've been in this situation long enough in the last, like you said, 3 years, to where I think they know what's coming, what's ahead of them, and I think they know how to react, to any situation in front of them.
Agreed. So you're not going to get questions about fantasy football anymore. You're just going to get questions about Taylor Swift, right?
Probably.
That's how it is these days.
So I was already getting answers like, do you know Travis? Can you set up a wedding venue for us? I was,
The many requests that come
I was
off
going to
of knowing
say,
him.
man, it's 6 degrees of separation, and you're asking about wedding setups? Come on.
I know
come
that's
on.
right. Yeah.
All right, well, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Thanks for being a part of our picks of the week there, Jamaal. We really appreciate it. All right, well, that's going to be a wrap on this edition of the home stretch.
Yeah, so I guess we're leaving this here. It's called Bringing It Homes, Jamaal. So this is you giving some good advice, some positive advice to people back home, to any players, any young players for the Chiefs, I guess to any football player that you may know, man. What's something positive that you may tell them or give them to take home?
just say you want something and you got to work for it, and hard work will pay off no matter the way you think it's going to pay off, but one day it will pay off, and go get it. You know what I'm saying? When your opportunity come, like many people have the chance to get opportunities, you got to take advantage of it because you never know when you're going to get the opportunity again.
Well, they talk about, Jamaal just mentioned hard work, taking advantage of the opportunity.
Opportunities, right?
I talked about begin with the end in mind. That was something that I had mentioned when I was going through college. So I think that's very positive. Hard work, it definitely pays off. And then also just being smarter about your choices. And so, Jamaal, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for your advice. And Mark, what do you got?
Oh, what do I have? Well, I took from when you were talking about track and you were jumping over the hurdles and you fell down after knocking down the first 2. I just had this idea in my brain that I want to write the word mental on every single hurdle. So I'm going to leap over those mental hurdles every single time I go out there and push harder. So that's what I'm going to do.
Look, he kind of stole a little bit of what you were talking about.
Right.
He put a twist on what you were talking about, Jamaal. You see him?
No, but that's what I took from it, man. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. Yeah,
That's
cool.
good.
Thank you, Jamaal.
I'm just trying to plant a seed.
That's right. Yeah. Just try to plant a seed. Let's see how it grows.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Jamaal, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on all the success you've ever had. Much continued success in what you're doing now and in the future. And I hope you had a good time here on the home stretch.
Oh, yeah. Thank y'all for having me.
All right. Appreciate it, Jamaal.
All right,
Thank you.
Priest. Another one in the books, man. Hope you had some fun, too.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed this, man. Getting a chance to talk sports and also tell a few stories. I liked a lot of the things that Jamaal was saying also about his upbringing, and then also just that track analogy that you pulled out at the end. That was a really good one. I'm going to have to top that next time on our next show. I'm going to have something for you.
The hurdle is set.
That's right.
You got to raise the bar. You got to raise the bar now. Let's see. We got to go from the low hurdles to the high hurdles. But we'll get over them. We'll get over them. Awesome hang, Priest, as always, man. Appreciate you.
Same here. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
This has been a Playmaker production.